Hello once again, Star Wars unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. Before I get to our opening unboxing today, you might wonder why some of my later videos have been angling this way. Very simple answer. My tripod broke. Yes, completely broke, destroyed. Not a big deal, but I'm in the market, so I'm going to be looking for a new one. In the meantime, I have my little tiny tripod kind of on my table here, stacked up a little bit to kind of still give a thing. I kind of like this because it gets a little more of the backdrop, but you know, we'll see. All right, finally, after months and months and months, Fanhome has delivered their latest R2 build. Just realized I don't have my cutter. Well, their latest R2 build project. Now, I was a little nervous about this, I'll be honest with you, but all these tariffs and things of that nature, I mean, I don't really do a lot of foreign purchases, at least not, not outside of Hasbro Pulse or Entertainment Earth if they're ordering, new figures that were shipped from overseas. But I was nervous about this because I'm only about a third of the way done. I think with this box, it'll put me to close to halfway done. So I'm staring at a box over right off camera that has literally just an R2 dome, one leg and part of another, and I'm just kind of like, oh my gosh, can we please get going with this? And what happened was in the summer, I looked like a purchase, my card got charged for the next installment, and it was canceled. So I emailed them and I was like, everything all right? Is there a problem? And they just said, oh no, everything's fine. We're just not ready to send you the next thing yet. Now to be fair, this is supposed to be like a once a month ordeal, right? And but what they do is they'll send several. Like here, let's open this up and you'll see what I mean. They send you several different ones. Ooh! And this one we got the good one. We got the actual silver dome. This is for issue number 51. All right. So we've got issue number 50, issue number 49, okay? And for the magazines, we have, I don't know if there's anything in there. Nope, there is not. For the magazines, looks like we have those 49, 50, and 51. All right, now, it's possible that some other, issues are not here yet. I'm gonna do this. I'm actually gonna grab my issues, my latest issues. Yeah, say 45, 46, 47, and 48. I don't think I have done anything with those yet. So, sadly, we are still, I'm just kind of going through this. This is my biggest complaint about this 22, 23, 26, 28, 30, 31, 32, 33, 35, 46. Oh wait, there's 46. Maybe I'm just out of order. Wait a minute, I think I'm out of order. Hang on, let me try this again. 30, yeah, I'm out of order here. You know why? Because these all came later, that's why. All right, hold on, let me see where my order is. And there are some things in there. 37, 38, 39, 40. They sent me 40 twice. 41, 42, 43, 44. All right. So, I don't know if I need 46. I'm guessing I don't because, so I'm missing 45, 47, and 48. Now, I suppose what I could do, so while I'm sitting here, I'm just going to count these other ones. What I could do is work on 24, 25, 27, 29. Yeah, they're just certain ones that we're missing, and I don't know if they're missing or what. It's confusing because it takes months before the next one arrives. I mean, technically speaking, it's supposed to be one thing a month, and I'm kind of glad that they send you a few at a time because one package a month would be just god awful because there might be something in that package that you can't do anything with by itself. It might be something that you can just take one little item and maybe one little tiny screw and screw it into something in the previous one. And I get it, when you're putting a model together, it doesn't always work out like evenly. And again, for them to keep the cost at, roughly between say $10 and $40 a magazine, they have to keep it. I mean, obviously this is this is an aluminum thing. This is going to be more money than, say, something like this, which is a piece of plastic and one piece of metal. So, that's kind of where it is. I get it. I understand it. But with the whole tariff situation, I didn't know if they were going to even be able to complete this. I don't know if this is going to just be put on hold indefinitely. But and on one hand, I'm happy to say that they've started shipping again. On the downside, they are still shipping out of order. So I'm going to do what I can in this one, okay? And if I am I able to continue getting anything, I'll show it to you on the camera. If not, I'll do a quick follow-up and say, okay, here's where we are. And I'm going to try to reach out to them and say, hey, can we just hold off on sending me anything new until you send me all the ones you owe me? Because I feel like that's really starting to get... Because the other thing is, I'm not a professional model maker. I'm not even an amateur model maker. I am like a beginner at best. And this is getting to the point where, you put a little piece of it together. And it's not just, plastic and metals and screw it together. There's electronics and there's logic circuits and there's all this stuff that you have to kind of be able to, it's not soldering, but it's still stuff you have to plug in and figure out. And it's like they're designing it to be confusing. And I will say that most of it, there's only a handful of times that there's actually glue involved. So I can unscrew things and go back and redo something if I need to. But nonetheless, I'm trying to be very careful, and it just makes so much more sense if they just send me the pieces that are due me and not 3 or 4 ahead of them. Okay, unless they believe that I can do more with 49, 50, and 51. So we'll see about that. All right, so let's put it on high speed and see what we got. Okay, so not a very long video high speed because I wanted a very long video at short speed. We received 3 items. The first one was a mechanism that goes with the foot and leg. I need the pieces from 45, 47, 48 to get that all together. So not going to happen. The second one was a wheel and a piece of the dome, some of the blue covering of the dome. That I was able to put together, and this is exactly what it should be. So that worked out. And then the last piece was the dome itself. I'm going to hold it up to you like upside down right now. There's that little blue piece right there. I have to say, I have some thoughts. It is essentially a piece of metal with a very thin piece, two thin pieces of double-sided tape that are supposed to go, this little backing, that are supposed to go on the metal. Now, I've worked with metal before, folks, and like aluminum, and I got to tell you that a little tiny thin piece of double-sided tape, yeah, this is a heavy piece of metal. It was already losing adhesiveness for a second after I undid it, and I had trouble getting it out. It was a little brittle. Finally got it on there, but the thing would stick. So I suppose if you left it on there for a while, it would be okay. But I did find something that I think will work pretty well. This is like it's called foam tack. It's really meant for foam, but it just kind of gives a little bit of tackiness that helps keep things in there. And I just put a little bit of reinforcement around it. So I think it's holding up pretty well. What I am going to do right now is I'm going to let this thing set overnight. I'm going to rest it kind of like this. Maybe not. Maybe just let it sit upside down like that. Just as long as it has some of the weight, like the basic, just so that the gravity is going straight down. And I think it'll be all right. The nice thing about that foam tack stuff, if I don't end up needing it anymore, I can actually it's almost like rubber cement. You can kind of rub at it and it'll come off. So if it gets in the way of putting the dome over this, because I'm assuming that's what'll be eventually happen. They'll send me piece after piece, and then this thing will go on top of here, and that'll be its reinforced dome. So, I mean, it's great. I love it. I look forward to this being complete. I get excited as it's, I'm getting more and more pieces. I now have most of the pieces of 2 feet, and I have the dome, and pretty much in pieces. I have other pieces that's supposed to go to this. I'm really excited about it. I just wish that they would send it piece at a time. And if there was a delay of some sort, I wish that they would just simply hold off on doing it. I mean, I suppose I guess they feel it's better. I guess it's just a personal opinion. I mean, for me, don't charge me, and I'll leave it alone for a while. The only real scary thing about something like this, folks, is you just don't know what's going on with these companies, if they're going to be able to complete the run. You know, I mean, they have a bunch of things. I think they're pretty successful. They have the DeLorean. You can get an Iron Man suit. You can get some fancy cars and motorcycle, you know, models that you can put together. I just don't know if this is going to finish, you know, with everything that goes on in the world. Who knows? I just hate to have only a half an R2. And it's not like it works with anything else. It's sort of the size of the 2007 interactive R2, sort of, but not really. And it's much bigger than the ones you get at Galaxy's Edge. So it's not like you can, you know, mix and match pieces. So keep the fingers crossed. It's a 100 issue thing. We just finished issue 1 or issue 51, but we have at least 3, maybe more. I have to go back and look. I'm going to go back and look and see if all of the other parts ship, because I don't have the magazines for everything. So I might email them and say, hey, how about issue number da-da-da-da-da? So I'm going to kind of go through it and just double check, make sure. So, all right. So this will do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. It's a little bit different than the episodes we've been watching with, we've been putting out tons and tons of claim sale, vintage collecting videos, which is just kind of where this whole channel has kind of shifted towards. But I still am bringing in items from the vintage collection, which we've had a few of those. There just isn't as much coming out. You know, we did the HasLab. I did back the gunship, but that's going to be over a year probably before that comes. And then there are, of course, Galaxy's Edge. There is an upcoming trip to Galaxy's Edge, which we'll make sure to document. And, you know, just that. But for the most part, it's just been claim sales and whatnot, and things like Star Wars Daddy and IC for Life and ICC or Imperial Commissary Collecting Convention, you know, Facebook groups and Taco Tuesdays with their live sale. You know, it's just been what I've been doing. So there's been a lot of vintage stuff. So hope you guys enjoy. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification. Check me out on Instagram and Bluesky. Darth Tuba Star Wars unboxing page on Facebook. I am not on TikTok. I am not on Twitch. I am not on any of the other ones yet. That might change someday, but not right now. So thanks so much for watching. May the Force and the toys and the half-completed R2-D2 models be with you.